It has been a while since we have walked around together with everybody. Zeus, what do you think, buddy? What should we do? He's like, well, we could stand around some, but we won't. A lot of people have asked how he's doing. Zeus, how are you doing? You look like you're doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that the bears are around a little, because this area is smushed, and as we know, they like the pear tree. Anyhow, so without further ado, let's talk about all the changes that have happened over here over the last few weeks. It has been busy, incredibly busy. There was an absolute solid week of hard work, and then and then it went from there. So we've made it down to the very first project that was worked on, and if you haven't seen the videos of when I worked on this, that's cool. I'm gonna put in a little bit in here so you can see what's going on. But the first project was this little bit here. This driveway tends to get a little bit sort of like everything kind of goes downhill. Obviously, erosion leads to sand and gravel making its way down. So with the excavator, this got drawn up. It's a little better. I've lost my dog already. Oh, there he is. Hey there. On a side note, our tomato plants are doing absolutely fantastic. Okay, so the next not so interesting thing, we'll start with the not so interesting things first, but functionally very, very useful things. Driveway, obviously we need to be able to drive down there, and the arena. The sand also erodes its way along and heads down to the bottom, so this got all having an excavator makes that so much easier, so that's what we did. All right, moving on to the next little project. That guy's calling out. We'll get to him in a minute. The next little project, actually, and I know I'm twirling around a lot. Hopefully you guys aren't getting too dizzy. I talked about making this area here a little bit of an obstacle area. And I haven't done anything since we cleared out a pile of old stumps. Like all this area was filled up with a bunch of old stuff. Old maple. There's still some there that I've kept for some purposes. But there's a bunch of things that are left here from the very first year. This is an apple tree, by the way. I don't know if I've ever said that. No, we've got one apple tree here. Hello, Fluffer. Moving on. Okay, let's get to the next thing. So actually it is a big deal that that area is cleared out, because there's a lot of really big stuff, and having the excavator to put it into the gator was really handy. The next area is here. We have the ditch. Now the ditch is a major infrastructure piece of this land. All of the drainage, we live in a rainforest here, so what? You call out an awful lot, you know that, right, Mr. Fancy Pants? Now he look at him. It's like I didn't say anything. The land here comes down this way. There's drainage all over the place, because living in a rainforest, essentially, we get a lot of rain here. Not right now, summertime's not so good for rain, at least this year. But other than that, it pours. Like, it's a lot of water here. So it all has to it all has to go somewhere. So a lot of the drainage and everything kind of comes down here into the pond sort of thing. There's a bit over on the other there, up there. It goes a little bit that way to the other side, so on and so forth, but most of it just comes down the center. And this ditch here was really filling in with mud, leaves. There was all kinds of foliage growing here. We don't really want that. I want this stuff to just flow. This was a really important infrastructure issue, because the water needs to go away. We don't want water. We don't want mud. We don't want sloppy ground. We don't want all these things that reduce the ability to be able to use horses, their weight, like to wander around all over the place. If they're heavy, and when their hoof hits ground, well, it's a lot of weight in one spot. And if it's soft due to water, it's not good. So this being a little bit deeper, doesn't it look like the bushes are dancing? They're dancing. This being lower, even lower than it was before, will allow the water table to lower a little bit better. Then, this was a hard one and not quite complete, I've got a pipe that is much lower than the previous pipe, which is up here behind all this. It's kind of useless being so high. So I wanted everything much lower. That comes out over there. So that project, while it doesn't do anything for sort of, I don't know, direct usability, the indirect usability of making sure your drainage at your property goes miles. Too many places I've been to are just, they flood. There's too much water. And I want to be able to walk around in my slippers. So in such a case, this area also has been re-graveled. This got cleaned up and graded, so water should start going this way much better. There shouldn't be any pooling in here from rain that's going to kind of trickle out that way and come this way and down into here. And the gravel will help things stay dry and non-muddy, because that's what we want. Okay, let's head on down and we'll take a quick glance at our brand new path. Actually, I should stop for a moment, because honestly, this, if we look at previous footage, we can see that this has totally changed. This is much more open. The paddock shape has changed here. Get rid of that corner, open this up a little bit, and the pipe that goes from there goes all the way under and then over to there, and it will go down the way. This has allowed us to create this pathway which runs through the forest. Hello. Still making a mess in your shelter, eh? We'll get to that. This pathway is just absolutely fantastic. It has opened up this forest area, sort of reclaimed a bit of land. There was nothing really in here in the first place. I didn't cut down any trees to make this happen. Just a few shrubberies and bushes and stuff like that. Filled it in, and now we have this lovely pathway. And I can't really explain how, I don't know, accomplished it feels to create even just this. And this is just one piece of this puzzle that I've been trying to build for so long. To be able to have pathways that live on the property that can be used year round, because there's a lot of gravel in here. It's all held in with these logs. There's logs all over the place. A few trees were cut down, mostly dead. One that was way leaning over that needed to come down that was live, but almost all of these ones were just dead trees still standing, and there's quite a few more left, so we've got to clear up. But this is all cleaned up. This back paddock has increased in size by 800 square feet, which is significant. I've seen some paddocks that are smaller than 800 square feet, and this one has increased that amount. The amount of gravel it takes is, you know, quite a bit, because it's kind of deep. Even Rony's sort of digging in here. He likes to kind of dig away and whatnot. But this paddock has now become a 2-horse for sure, and if I needed to, I could probably put 3 horses in here. It is fantastic how big it has become. An extra 20 feet this way, and it's 40 feet that way. So lots and lots of space, and I'm thinking I might just kind of open up this fence line here for these two critters to hang out together. But that's not all. There have been many other things done, so let's talk about it. Remember a while ago when I was explaining this back area, I wanted and have always wanted an area that would be open, would grow grass, and have some kind of pasture. I get a lot of questions about where's the pasture, where's the grass? And we've got lots of grass up front. Well, not lots, but you know, enough to be able to graze and whatnot here and there, but don't have a big field, and we never will. This is going to be the area one day. And the reason is we live in a forest, a rainforest. But this property is forest, and I can't help that. I can work with what I've got, and this is what we've got. So this area got totally leveled, cleared, graded, all kinds of good stuff. Having the excavator here has made that, well, obviously much easier. These 3 hemlocks had already died, so they needed to come down, which is what has made this border piece here and a bunch of others, plus other logs that I've had around. The whole area behind the covered arena has now been fully graveled and graded to make it solid if you ever wanted to come out this gate over here. And when you do come out this gate, it is now possible to wander off into the forest. And it's fantastic. I really wanted, actually, I know this is another infrastructure thing, but the base of gravel, hard ground that sits behind here, I really wanted to solidify it that much more. It was always kind of mud and dirt, and it was terrible. This whole area has been cleared out. There used to be a pile of slash that lived in here from year 1, and it feels utterly amazing that it is finally gone. In the video you can see I essentially just buried it all. This was the only tree that was live that was cut, but it was leaning way over and likely would have come down anyways. So yeah, it's not like we have to kill the forest to get this done. A lot of it was just shrubbery and stuff. So let's take a little walk along our pathway, and I'll talk about a couple of features about it. First off is obviously it comes to the forest. Now this is a gorgeous place to live. I've been in the forest plenty of times, you guys have seen that. And now we get to kind of walk and skirt along the edge of it. I did put in a little drainage here because this inner area is going to fill up with water, obviously, and it goes straight, you know, through there, out the other side of the pathway. Nice little kind of thing, but it has function. So the gravel is to not have as much dirt kind of go in. The extra rocks are just to catch even more debris and stuff like that, and the upper rocks are just to give it a little bit more strength. But what, you know what is really cool? Look on the log there. Isn't that neat? When we cut this tree down, or I cut the tree down, it's an old tree, it's totally dead, but some woodpecker had kind of gone in there and made that perfectly round hole, which personally I thought was really neat. Anyways, it goes a ways in. So with the drainage done, water can go wandering off that way, which there is actually a drainage ditch on the other side of all this whatever shrubbery and stuff. And then we come around here again, trying to line all the edges so that the gravel doesn't go wandering off as we come, you know, through here on horses. The old pathway is here. Somebody had asked me about, well, what about the old pathway that leads to the tree house and the zip line and the bridge and stuff like that? Well, that's all this way, and this pathway usually stays not too bad, actually, even when it's not summertime. It's getting to this point that was always going to be the problem, because it's muddy before here. There's the treehouse there, so for everybody who's asking. So this pathway is just dirt. I don't know what I'll do with it in the future, but we shall see. So then we wander around here, and the whole pathway, so it goes up that way, is all lined with cloth. So for anybody who's wondering how to go about, how do you make a pathway that's all season? You have to be able to put down cloth, gravel, separate the mud or dirt or clay, whatever you've got, with the medium that's on top, which is the gravel, which will, you know, not turn to mud, and you'll be able to ride it theoretically all year round. It looks fantastic. And that is probably the end of the upgrades. We took a week to get her done. Got a nice little bench here, and kind of just sit and hang out, enjoy a little bit of forest time out in the back here. And then hopefully, we haven't had a speck of rain in the last few weeks. But when it does finally rain, I expect this area to fill up with grass pretty quick. We're gonna try to seed it a little bit. Rain will come down, poof. Should have some kind of pasture area. But it's an absolutely gorgeous place to come hang out, I think, for the horses. We've got to fence it, so that still needs to be done. But I'm just gonna keep this little area off here because it kind of looks like a little camp spot. In fact, if you haven't seen the video, I've got Bob here with his fire going. So that's a lot of fun. We've got all kinds of stuff coming up in the future. So next up is fencing and getting this area all, you know, sorted so that horses don't go wandering off the path. If we kind of come out here, we're going to teach and get people better, get horses better with being out in a forest, on pathways, to be out of an arena. Because being inside of the arena, it's easy for horses. You know, it's easy for people too, because we've got a fence where it's flat. You don't have to look at, you know, what you're doing and stuff like that. And that can actually be detrimental to learning more and more about horses. So I absolutely wanted that. We also have the ability to make the pathways a little bit more difficult and do horseback archery. So there are a lot of things that are going to be going on. It's very exciting. But I've got to admit, this is definitely one of the crown jewels. And I must put this in here, but I really want to thank David for helping out so much. We've got a few other anonymous people that also assisted. If you're watching this, thank you very kindly for either directly helping or indirectly through feeding or watering or taking care of the horses, kind of thing, because there's a lot of things to do around here. And also, everybody, please thank Jen for keeping me alive. There are times when she made sure that I was hydrated and fed. So it's a big deal. And she also, of course, helped out a little bit on the raking and all kinds of stuff. Hello, Mr. Wild, how you doing? So that is the extent of the changes. I can't tell you how cool it is. A little breeze tonight. A little breeze. Kind of nice. So that's it. We can do a little bit of a horsey check on our way. Roni's doing well. He's down here. He's with Mr. Wild. Mr. Wild's at the back because I want him to have a change of pace. Hello, my friend. What are you doing? Just hanging out, I guess. Wondering if you can get a refill. Yeah, pretty soon. It's almost that time. Are you gonna bonk the camera? He says I love bonking the camera. Bonking the camera is my favorite. Yeah. Alright, buddy. Okay, so let's wander around. We'll do a little check on the horses, because it's been a bit since we've done that. Horses are doing great during the whole time. The last couple to 3 weeks, I have taken time off of training because I would literally just be working from 5 or 7 in the morning until, well, 5 or 7 at night, and that's a lot of time. 12 to 14 hours of labor. And so lots of horses have had a bit of time off. They all get to have their usual socializing, hanging out. Gracie's looking pretty fantastic. Look at that. Look at those muscles. They're really popping on her. She looks good. Fluffer's down here. Yoka is doing quite well. She's definitely a nice little horsey. Gotta love her. Look at her. Hello, Fluff. You're such a cutie pootie. It says don't touch. Okay, I won't. Everybody's looking for a refill. It's almost that time. It's evening. It's time to top up everybody's food, make sure they're tip-top, because that's how we do things around here. All horses are fed 24/7 with hay bags. Well, mostly 24/7. Sometimes they run out a little, but it's not for very long. We want them to always have the ability to be eating. Here's Roo. Roo's here for now. He got moved over here. I think I've done a horsey check since he's been here. Mr. Gorgeous. Hello, buddy. Did you want to say hello to anybody? Or you're good? It's kind of good. And Lena. Oh, I don't know if I've said anything about this, but this little fence here, or fence, wall got done, a little retaining wall to create a better pathway. Hello, Lena. Who's the most beautiful Oldenburg ever? At least around here you are. Yes. Scratches for Lena, of course. Nope, definitely the butt. Not a girl. And let's wander on. The garden here has taken a bit of a hit with the lack of rain, but it'll come back. I'm not worried. These are looking pretty nice. I water it a little. Oh, Nanners, you hear that? Hello, Nanners. You need a refill too? You still have some. You're okay. Not too hard done by, are you? A couple flies. Camera won't focus fast enough. So, we're going to get on with feeding, and Luke here is at the top. And I've lost my dog. Oh, no, there he is. Luke, you want to say hello to anybody or what? And Nanners is following me. He says, don't leave. Fill me up. Luke, you want to say hi or you're good? I don't know, he might. He's usually pretty friendly unless he's hungry. Oh, there we go. Hello, friend. You've got a little bit of hay on your face. Do you figure it's a good place to keep extra hay? Let's see. There. Well, you're gonna bonk the camera, Mr. Bushy. Okay. So that's everybody. All good, all healthy. So it's getting a little busier around here. Lessons are picking up. Training's picking up, which is great. So I do my best to keep up on videos. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the stuff I've been up to and all the little upgrades. Thank you very much, everybody who has been providing an amazing amount of encouragement and support through your comments and watching, and everybody in memberships and Patreon as well. I've been trying to post on there too to make sure that I fulfill my obligations because it's a subscription service. But it has just been amazing posting over time, and everybody's just been saying, oh, this is great and that's really good. I look forward to this. So in the end, I'm going to leave you guys with a little ride that Lena and I did. The very first ride ever on the pathways, which I did almost just in a bareback bed. We just kind of meandered around. It was lovely. So anyways, thank you again for sticking around and being part of this. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Which way to go, eh? Lena, you choose. She says, I go left. This is the first day, and I want to commemorate it a little. Get it, Lena. Oh, good job. Riding on my own forest trails. Yeah, Lena's doing a little landscaping as we go. Hello, Gracie. Keep going. Let's go this way. Keep going around. Good. So this is the little loop. We'll call it the small loop for now. We got other names for thinking about, but it's going to be the little loop. We don't want to talk to Luke. See, she's got to do her landscape. Send her on. Say, let's go. It's a little bit, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Surreal? A little surreal. Just get to kind of wander around. Which way are we going now? Are we going this way? All right, let's do it. Lena says, I choose this way. Hey, no problemo. Don't choose that way. Hey, yeah, landscaping. A little bush trimming, making sure everything's tip-top. Lena's a nibbler. She's always been a nibbler on trails. Now she's nibbling on my trails. Don't go that way. You got it. Good job. You didn't even need to bite that hard. It's the big loop. So we have the little loop and the big loop. Sooner or later there'll be more logs here. I don't want to trot yet. We will trot, but not yet. Oh, you went off the path. Okay. We got a T. What are we going to do? Says I'm hanging a left. This stuff's freaking me out. It's also brand new. It is also brand new, and it's wonderful. Hello, Roni. Mr. Wild. Now what? She says, let's go in the arena. You're going to scrape my leg along there, and I'll be very unhappy with you. Anyhow, so there you go. We did it. Good job, Lena. You're the best.